Van Gogh, a unique man who was underappreciated in his time, a man who dove into insanity with his own art. Everyone knows the name, yet there's so much more to the artist. Born on March 30th, 1853, Vincent was the eldest son of Theodore Van Gogh and Anna Cordelia Carbanus. Vincent was one of 6 children. As a child, Vincent had little to no artist talent, no matter how much his mother tried to teach him art. It was not until his later years that Van Gogh started to actually gain an income. Though his parents were reluctant at first, they supported him and his career choice. Though Van Gogh's paintings were beautiful, he had a lot of trouble selling them. Some say it was his dull palettes or the area, but even after he used more vibrant colors and moved to Paris, he still had only a small following. When he started painting as a career, he moved away from his family, which is why you never get to see his family in his paintings. Not having a family of his own also contributed to this. The closest thing that Vincent had to his own family was moving in with a prostitute and her 2 children, which leads to many of his failed romances. Vincent was very lonely and often turned to prostitutes for a source of comfort due to his endless loneliness. Other than that, you see many of his letters addressed to Theo Van Gogh, his brother, his financial support and biggest art supporter. As seen in many of his letters, he mostly only speaks to Theo. In Vincent's many letters to Theo, it shows how close they were. Theo Van Gogh also became an art dealer after many years of not holding a job. Though his life may seem ideal, he was struggling with epilepsy. Epilepsy is a neurological disorder that causes seizures. He was very aware of this, and after cutting off his ear, he wrote in a letter to Theo, "I won't hide from you that I would have preferred to die than to cause and bear so much trouble." This is a part of the fall of Van Gogh, his tragedy. His epilepsy is essentially what killed him. He was hospitalized multiple times during his epileptic episodes. He was not allowed into his art studio while he was having his episodes because he had once had a plan to eat his paint as a suicide attempt. In the final 2 years of Van Gogh's life, he ended up gaining quite a following on his art. His art was placed in exhibits in Paris. Vincent van Gogh died on July 27, 1890, after shooting himself in the chest. After his death, his brother Theo wanted to raise his brother's profile as much as possible until his death 6 months after Vincent. Theo's wife later continued this and published Vincent's letters to Theo. In Van Gogh's triumph, he wasn't even alive. His triumph was his rise to fame and his many famous paintings. Now everyone knows him as the epileptic artist who cut off his own ear, which in itself is a very unique name to have. Now Van Gogh's originals will sell to $66.3 million, and he has a museum in his honor.